We're going to see if this works. There they are. Notifications are in. See if anybody comes in here. Well, let's see here. Something like that. First rant is that we're not truly wireless. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I had my laptop, both my phones, my tablet all plugged in at some point or another. Like, yeah, we're wireless, but if you're always charging. I've got an honest question with everybody in here, okay? It's not clickbait, Donnie Luke. All right? I've been seeing, next gen, you are actually first. Okay? Let's do some shout outs. Let's see. We got next gen Mike Miller. Talk about the Larry June. I have no idea if it's Larry. I mean, I see Larry June in my feeds, but I don't follow that. DPG, what's up? Nothing against Larry June, but I don't know what's going on there. Next gen Bruno, what's up? Love the hat. Thank you. It's a cool hat. It's a pretty cool hat. It's my favorite one. Charles Anderson, what's up? Donnie Luke. Provost Motorsports, you're going to like this. Big Tex Trucking, Big Rig CEO. Nothing witty is never first. You're always first in my book, though. Nothing witty. Ralph Floto, what's up? Mono. Michael Dow. Bandana. Scott SRO Logistics. Top Flight Flatbed. Mike Miller. Duluth. Crazy stuff. I don't know why the audio is bad. Oh, maybe this is why. Here, let's do that. Does that help? I've got an Android, so the
headset off. Not that my headset goes through that anyways. How's it going? Loaded Trucker, how's it going? First, because I can say first, right? Southbound Jay, what's up? I want all of you to answer this question, okay? How many of you are happy of where you're at in life? Okay? How many of you are happy with the job you have and the situation that you're in? How many of you are happy with that? Because I'm finding discontent with their situation. I'm finding a lot of people that want to make changes without making changes for themselves first. Because I'm just curious about this, because if you watch YouTube, if you look at Facebook, if you talk to people out the street, you talk to truck drivers out in the truck stop, at the truck stop counter, no one's freaking happy. And if I can get through this live feed without cursing, it'll be a miracle, because I'm riled up. This is a rant, and I just probably pissed off a couple people on Zello because of this, right? Happy enough, always room for improvement though. That's awesome, because there's a level of wanting to better yourself, and that's understandable. We should all want to better ourselves. You never want to be comfortable in a situation, right? Because comfort makes you lazy. And in order to progress yourself, you have to be honest with yourself, okay? And that is the hardest thing that I think that we all have to face, is if you're honest with yourself. Because I just spent 20 minutes trying to help somebody come up with answers for their problem, and I was shot down every single time with excuses. Well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I haven't been able to do this, I haven't been able to do that, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But yet we're discontent of where we're at without changing the root of what could progress you to the next level. That's what bothers me. Now, and oh, Steve, you're on your freaking high horse, right? Well, let me tell you something. I'm not the smartest businessman. I'm not the smartest owner operator. I don't have the even killed attitude all the time that you guys might think. And I have my flaws, definitely have my flaws. But I do know one thing, is that attitude is the only thing that can keep you afloat. Attitude is the difference of whether you sit still and progress. Attitude is the difference of wanting to wake up and putting a bullet in your head. It's all about attitude. It's all about what obstacles can I face and still have a decent attitude about it. It's okay to be angry. Angry can be a good fuel, but you have to be smart about it. And if you are discontented of where you are, what can you do to improve yourself? Your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. Nextgen and I had a really long conversation earlier this week about this kind of stuff. And it's like truck drivers are among the worst, you know. There was a guy that, when I was at Transland, there was a guy that came up to me. We were all sitting there in the yard outside, and he comes up and he goes, "Man, their state department doesn't know what they're doing." Okay, so you who have been driving 2 years, you're the expert at safety versus the person inside the office that's been doing this for 15 years, right? But I'm got to be nice. Sometimes I'm not always honest, right? And I'm going to go through the comments here, but I'm going to ignore the comments for a minute. And he's like, "Well, I'm thinking about leaving." "Where are you going to go?" "I don't know." "Oh, what about RBX? They're just down the road." "No, they don't have APUs on their trucks." "Oh, what about IWX? They're right down the road." "Oh, I won't do refrigerated." "Oh, so I guess that takes out Prime." "Yeah, the hell with Prime." "Do you know anybody at Prime?" "No. I just know I don't like them." "Okay. Well, there's Ozark. They got a terminal here." "No, they drive Freightliners." And this went on for like 10 freaking minutes. And finally I said, "Well, then I guess you just need to become an owner operator and do it for yourself." And he goes, "Oh no, I can't do that. No, I wouldn't be able to do that." I literally got in my truck and said, "Well, good luck to you." There was another person at Transland that we both showed up at the shipper, Coca-Cola in Lenexa, Kansas, right? And he follows me, and he's brand new to the company. And basically, when you show up, I want you to bring in 2 straps, and then you have to saran wrap the last 2 pallets extra good so they don't fall over, and then you're to strap it after they get you loaded, right? Now, those of you who've been to Coca-Cola in Lenexa, Kansas know that it's not the easiest place to back into. You got to back in off the street. There's big rocks in the field, that kind of thing, right? And I like that, rodent. And so this guy comes in. He's like, "Well, what are you doing?" "Well, you got to, I explained the saran wrap thing. They told me this was no-touch freight." "Well, yeah, you're not loading it." "Oh, no. They said that I would get fired if I touched the freight." Well, it doesn't mean you can't physically go up to it and touch it. You have to. They require you to. It's called load securement. That's part of load securement. "Oh, they told me I'd get fired." I'm like, "Dude, you're not leaving here until they see you saran wrap the last 2 pallets." So he follows me out, and now he's going to back in, right? And so I was going to help him out because I'm a nice guy sometimes. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And you have to slide your tandem. So he gets back to where he's straight with the dock, and then I said, "Hey, set your brakes and I'll pull the pin for you." Not the pin, but it's like one of those air slides. And we'll I'll be nice. I'm being nice, right? So he sets his tractor brakes. I go, you need to set your trailer brakes. Why? Well, that's how the air slide works. I've never had to set the trailer brakes to move the tandems. That's not how the system works. And so I went up to him, showed him how the button doesn't come out if you don't set the trailer brakes. And so he's like, I've never had to do that before. Okay, well, humor me and do it. So he does it. I get the pin pulled. He moves up, and in the process, he racks one of those rocks in the field and takes out his bumper, right? So he gets out of the truck. Wow, can't believe I did that. I said, yeah. And I said, you have to call safety. Here's the number. No, I ain't calling safety. I'll just figure it, I'll just tell them when I get to the yard. Like, that's not how this works. So then I said, well, where's your logo? And he said, Rolla, Missouri, Coca-Cola. Now, to get from Lenexa, Kansas to Rolla, Missouri, you go down 63, US 63 to get to 44, right? Now, before you get to that Love's on 44, if you're going down 63, that's where Coca-Cola is, right? And so I asked him. He goes, I'm going to Rolla. I said, oh, okay. Well, you know where that Love's is on 44 there in Rolla? Oh, they told me I couldn't go down I-44. What are you talking about? You're not going down I-44. They told me. I said, do you know where the Love's is on I-44? No, they said no. I'm like, look, dude, what I'm trying to tell you is that I-44 Love's, the Coca-Cola is at the same exit, literally a rock's throw from that Love's. Oh, they told me I got to fuel where they tell me to fuel. I'm not telling you to get fuel. So he follows me out to my truck, right? And he starts asking me about CB radios. He's like, hey, my radio's doing this and this. I'm like, well, I'm not a CB radio expert, but I don't know, might be the antenna. No, that's not it. Might be your microphone. No, that's not it. Well, maybe it's the no, it's not the radio. I'm like, then why did you ask me my opinion on what's wrong with your CB radio after I told you I wasn't an expert, and then you're just going to tell me I'm wrong on everything that I'm telling you to troubleshoot? So I get frustrated when I hit a situation like that, and that's where I'm at right now, because I give people my honest opinions, and I give people advice, and it gets ignored, and that's fine. That's your own prerogative. But don't be discontented with your situation if you don't want to make the change. And you have to be honest with yourself to make changes. That's the most important aspect of any of this. If you're not honest with yourself and realize where your mistakes are, realize where your weaknesses are, figure out where your strengths are, and go from there, then you're good, right? Then you've made the first step to recovery. Then you've made the first step to advancing yourself to get you out of the area that you are discontent with. And that is something that, you hear it on Facebook, Zello, YouTube. Everybody's mad at somebody else, and everybody hates their job, hates their company, or they came from a bad company, and it's the broker's fault. It's the freaking, it's the carrier's fault. It's the rates. So and so YouTuber didn't tell me the real numbers. All this crap. Meanwhile, no one had a gun to your head when you signed the contract. No one told you to quit when you shouldn't have. And no one's reading their contracts. No one's doing their accounting right, so that 1099s are screwed up and all this stuff. And yet we want to blame everybody but ourselves. If this truck has a $30,000 breakdown and I can't pay for it, guess what? I blame myself. A deer could come out in front of me and cause a bunch of damage that may not get covered. I would still have to blame myself because I didn't put myself in a position to protect myself from a situation like that happening. Do you see how that works? It's all rooted in you. It's all rooted in you. If you find yourself always complaining about your carrier, you know, Traveloco this and Snyder that and Prime this and my dispatcher that, you know, really? You're going to take a big company that has been successful for 20, 40 years and think that they don't know what they're doing? Come on, man. I give horrible advice. I do give horrible advice, Big Rig CEO. And right now, there's a lot of people that are discontent with their situation and they're unwilling to change the first thing that they need to change. Wow, we got 61 people in here. You know? And, you know, I know a contractor that went through a hard time with some bad luck that was out of his control, but there was a lot of stuff in his control. He made changes. He fell. You know, he had a lot of issues and he struggled for a bit. Then he had to kind of switch jobs, recollect himself, and then he learned from his mistakes, and now he's back in a lease truck doing well again. In a down market, mind you. And you could have there are people out here that you can write them a blank check. Here, buy your own truck, buy your own trailer, sign on with any carrier that you want. And they would still find something to be hateful about. They would still find something to be discontent about, you know, because the lack of gratitude that you have. If you have a steady job where you're making $1,100-$1,200 a week, whether you're a company driver or an owner operator or a lease operator, then you don't appreciate that, that's a problem. Because the only consistent thing when it comes to trucking, whether you're on the office side or the owner side or the company side, is that it's always changing. That's the only consistency. Technology's changing it. Corporations are changing it. Freight Waves is changing it. The way dealers diagnose your truck problems is changing it. The way you find your loads is changing. The way we look at maps now is changing. No one uses an atlas anymore. They're using GPSs. You know, instead of calling the customer, we're emailing them. You know, instead of calling a broker, we're bidding on an app. You know, I control 90% of my business with this thing. That is a remarkable bit of technology. But in the end, if you have the crappiest attitude, it does you no good. Some of you hate trucking and just can't admit that to yourselves. If you're the kind of person that has switched jobs 4 or 5 times in the last year or two, there's a problem there. What is that problem? Is it you? Did you just happen to have a ton of bad luck of finding 5 horrible companies? You know, what are the odds, right? Out of the thousands of trucking companies out there, you found the worst 5 companies ever right in a row. Be honest with yourself. What if the problem isn't the company? What if the problem isn't the broker? What if the problem isn't your dispatcher? What if the problem is you? You have to have a little bit of humility. You have to have honesty about yourself. I know what my weaknesses are. I know where I've made mistakes. I know what could easily take me out tomorrow. Therefore, I don't give advice when it comes to structuring your finances or how do you do your taxes, or I don't tell you any of that stuff because I'm still learning that stuff myself. And there are people that tell me that I can go out and get my own authority. and I'd be okay. But I don't have the confidence in myself because I know my own weaknesses. I know the issues that I need to fix, and I know what my needs are. You're sexually mad. Oh, you guys. So I am mad because, even though I'm laughing, because I'm tired of seeing the discontent. I'm tired of people asking me for advice, and then when I tell them what they need to do, they're like, well, I can't do that. Well, then stop asking me for advice. Smile, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves me. So, you have to be honest with yourself. If you hate your situation at your job, change it. And now, granted, there are circumstances that maybe you have health insurance that and you gotta accept some things. We're kind of in that situation. And I realize that maybe people can feel trapped in the trucking industry at their jobs, but you're not. You're not trapped. Here's the good news. You guys ready for this good news? It's not all negative. If you're honest with yourself and you figure out what your weaknesses are, then you can conquer them. No, you can't conquer weaknesses. Man, Steve, you're talking crazy talk now. Right? You have to be honest with yourself. Attitude of gratitude. Be thankful. Be thankful that you're not dying of cancer. Be thankful that you haven't lost any limbs. Be thankful that you have a truck to sleep in. Be thankful that you have a load. Be thankful that you have your health, and be thankful that you have your family. Because it could all go away like that tomorrow. You can die in your truck while watching this film going down the road, and I know some of you are. In an instant, life can change on you. And that was the point of that one coffee video where I talked about a friend of mine who had this big tragedy just happen in his life. And I was sitting there, the TV just happened to be on, and something that is so significant in other people's lives was so insignificant to me because it didn't matter. To learn who was going to win Big Brother was not important to me at all. It's never been. But at the same time, when you're dealing with real life and death situations, it's all insignificant. All this YouTube back and forth stuff, it's all insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And if we were all more grateful for everything that we have, maybe there wouldn't be so much discontent. There are people that have the perfect truck, the perfect life, all the toys, yet they still find fault in other people's misery. And if you find yourself switching jobs all the time and not getting along with dispatchers or whatever at every single company, maybe you don't like trucking. Maybe a day cab job's an honest way to go. You have to be honest with yourself. Maybe you hate OTR. Maybe you hate truck driving in general. I know really good drivers that did really well out here, and once they figured out they hated truck driving, they got out. And if you're one of these people that's discontent and you hate this and so-and-so's doing that wrong and so-and-so's doing that wrong and you can't do this right, and the trucking industry's going to crap because they're hiring all these foreigners and all blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Get out. Leave. Leave the trucking industry if it's so horrible. Leave the trucking industry if you think that it's going to pot. Leave it. Go away. We don't want you. I need to drink water. And guess what? If you leave, there's nothing wrong with that. Truck driving is not the be-all, end-all. You have to love this job in some aspect to be out here, to be successful. That's a fact. You either have to love numbers, or you have to love traveling. You have to be nomadic in a way. And, you know, you have to be willing to put up the sacrifice. There's a lot of things I've missed out from my kids. I'm going to miss out on something cool this weekend. And that's all on me. That's my fault. Right? But why did I become a truck driver? Because my family needed more money. And this was the best, easiest way I can think of doing it. But that was back when I had a victim mentality. I used to be the guy that blamed everybody else for my problems. I used to be that guy. Then once I took a cold, hard look at myself, then I became depressed and realized that it is my fault. You know? And I've been close to suicidal. Trust me, I've been there. But then I forgave myself. And I forgave other people that I thought maybe did me wrong. And then I started being honest with myself. Then my life started to turn around. Once gratitude kicked in, I've reached this new level of understanding about people, about myself. Because life is hard. There's a lot of bullshit we got to put up with. And whether you're a truck driver or not, you know, there are people that are, you know, we live in a first world country, yet we have people that are hungry. There are people that live paycheck to paycheck, and I'm thankful that I'm not one of them. There are people that die alone, and that waste away in their homes for weeks on end because they don't have any friends, they don't have any family. The beer did make me wiser. This water sucks, by the way. Kirkland signature water with minerals added for taste. Lovely. Why do we have to add minerals to water? I guess because it's crappy water. You always go on the best rants, Escargot. Escargot. There's a guy who had a $25,000 repair, and he's still at it. You know, he's not blaming anybody for anything. Trucks break down. You know. And the other thing that's got me kind of upset is that a lot of us talk privately, and there's a lot of people that judge other people by the way they've done their business, or, you know, you do this, you do that. Well, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he took a load there. I can't believe he did that, you know, and I'm like, well, he's doing that wrong. He's doing that wrong. And everybody's doing everything wrong. Everybody. How about you just stay in your lane, and if I need help, ask, you know, I'll ask you. Or if I'm doing something completely stupid, point it out, and then maybe we can work on it, right? Is that bottled water? No, it was bottled in Oklahoma City. So next best thing, right? You have to be honest with yourself. I've said that 58 times in this freaking live feed, but I'm tired of it, and I'm probably going to lose a couple of friends over this. But that's because they're not being honest with themselves. In order to become an owner-operator, you have to have decent credit. You have to have money in the bank. One or both. Are there success stories of people, going like, I've had friends that said they went over to Snyder and only had $20 in their pocket, right? Those are not the norm. There are success stories like that. But the people that you want to listen to are the people that have their act together. I was talking about this with Ratman today. I look up to people that have it better than I do. Jeffrey Like, Ratman, Provost. These are all people that I look up to. These are all people that I can learn from. Are their business models exactly like mine? No. Do they have advantages that I have? Yes, but I don't hold that against them because that's how you learn. If I completely negate, they got a side business, so what do they know? They're not how you're struggling with, no. Use that as an example to what are they doing differently that could put me in their situation? What is it that got them there to that situation? If I see a person that's driving a brand new truck and their costs are lower than mine, they've got their act together. That's a cool situation. I wish to be in that situation. Well, how did that person get in that situation? Well, I need to figure that out, and maybe I can use some of that influence on myself. Bottom line is 99% of your discontent comes from you and you alone. And it's easier to poke fun at other people. It's easier to judge everybody else for how they're doing something wrong. It's easier to criticize the world of their failures and their issues. And all that does is detract you from the true, honest reason of why you're hateful, of why you hate what you do. Oh, I don't run with the CB radio because there's a bunch of trash. Yeah, you'll get on the CB radio and bitch someone out. If you're a Swift driver that doesn't run with your CB radio, I don't blame you. If, these new guys don't know how to back their trucks, well, get out and help them. Well, they don't like to listen. Well, then that's on them. Don't drink it. What this is a bottle of water that was given to me for free. Where I picked up today. This is not the brand that I have. By the way, guys, multiple brands of bottled water come from the same place. Just putting that out there. Richard, how's it going? Michael Dow, I went back and listened to the video you did with Jeff today. Michael Dow is a guy that has been through a lot, right? And he Went out of. Okay, so I wanted some of the Iron Maiden beer, right? I know, not keto friendly. Because you can't get it in Missouri anymore. He went to 4 different liquor stores, 4 cans. And then him and his wife went out and got tacos for everybody. And the things that we talked about, the things that he's been through is nothing short of amazing. Just like Rican Trucker. If you guys knew the tragic events that has happened in Rican Trucker's life, and the fact that he's got a good attitude and he's very generous, it would amaze you. Some of the most generous people that I've come across have had the crappiest moments happen in their lives. They've had some of the biggest tragedies. And so if someone who's had a child die in their family can have a better attitude than someone who just can't get along with a broker or a dispatcher, what does that tell you about yourself? And I was grateful that Michael Dow came, and hung out with us. We had a good time. And I don't know, it's just amazing to me, There are people out there that you can let them win, $1 million and they'll look right. Well, the IRS is going to take half of it, Okay, so you get $500,000. What's wrong with that? And there are people out here that would give their last penny to you to make sure that you're okay. And I'm friends with these kind of people, and that makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I'm seeing some inspiration here. I don't have all the answers. I really don't. But I do know that once I changed my attitude, my depression went away. Diet was a part of that too. This 100-pound weight loss that I've accomplished has given me a sense of clarity that has really been able to really look inside myself. And it's really changed me physically. It's given me this confidence. It's given me this confidence that I can't explain, and it's improved many aspects of my life. Your last 99 cents. Thank you, Rat Man. Maybe you can win the Mega Millions and buy a trucking company. How do you make $1 million in trucking? Start off with 2 million. There you go. Hey Snowlord, you said something to me the other day on a live feed, and I found another solution that's worked for me, so thanks. All right, let's go with the comments, man. We're going to have a little bit of silence as I read these comments. That's why I'm happy with the full maintenance lease, says Fennell. Put $28,000 in my truck just over a year. Bottle of wine, says Orion. I take responsibility for all things I've done. With that being said, I love being over the road and I accept being single and no close relationships. This is Bandit Jr. You have to treat people the way you want to be treated, whether or not they treat you that way back. You have to stand on your principles, regardless of how they help you or hurt you. Thank you, Charles. Big Beard Gang. There you go. I blame the water. Jeff, I can't give you any trucking advice. What are you talking about? I just wrote the perfect country song. Good. Maybe I'll make $1 million. You know any good publishers? I'll sell it. I'll sell it to the first rap country artist that wants to use my crap. Nothing. What do you like? Fruit and oatmeal? Robert says, Steve, this reminds me of a Christmas vacation when he went crazy. Provo says, yep, none giving advice. Yep, I hear you. Big Rig CO. Oh, crap. I can't read all these comments, guys. I'll have to go back to the replay and read them. This is not exciting. Hey, let's watch Steve read stuff. So, I appreciate the super chat, guys. I think Ratman gave me 99 cents, his last 99 cents, so hope he can make that truck payment. Who gave me 25? I think Big Rig gave me 25. Big Rig CEO gave me 25. And then someone gave me $5. And I think I'm not seeing it now. I appreciate the super chat, guys. I'm sorry I missed the name of the person who gave me $5. Whoever gave me the $5, put your name up here. No, rant. Cruise right by Ratman's Pizza Joint. Ratman, you need to have a keto-friendly crust. Then I'd be all about that. You can make some money doing that too. Scott can give me an opinion. What opinion, Scott? Scott's another one who's been successful in his life, and I've learned a lot from him. Derek D, thank you, Derek. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Derek. And I apologize for not shouting that out earlier. Anyways, I think my rant's done. I think Kevin and Ollie is going to be hanging out with me tonight. He'll be here in about 3 hours. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, I can rant some more. This is people, for some weird reason, people think I'm even killed. And that's funny to me, because if you ask my wife, she'll tell you I'm not even killed. I have my moments. I have very destructive moments. Electronics die in my path when they go wrong. I have hit walls. I've never laid a finger on anybody or an animal or anything like that. But I do have my moments where I get frustrated. And I've definitely had my depression moments. Big Rick CEO used to call me out on those. Dude, you down? No, I'm not. No, you are. You know, what's going on? You know, and then we talk for a little bit. Are you my brother from another mother? Big Rick CEO, you should go. Richard, you are crazy. I will agree with her. I do feel better, nothing witty. Rants are good. Rants are good. And like I said, I'm going to probably lose a couple of friends over this because they can't be honest with themselves. You know, I just got off the phone with another friend that's going to go through a change, and he's being honest with himself. And guess what? He's going to be okay because of that. Scott, were you going to say something? I got to get in a fight and break someone's nose? I don't know, man. I might have a heart attack. I don't know if I can handle the adrenaline. Just because I'm skinnier doesn't mean that I'm physically fit. I'm healthy. Are you my sister from another mother? No, man. There's two genders in here, Orion, male and female, and I am of the male variety. Rich is cray. Trucker Stable, $9.99. Dinner on me tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. I went off a little bit on Trucker Stable today too. Zello, see guys, Zello can be bad. I remember getting in Zello, and then Zello was creating all this drama, and I even like poked at Zello. I think I remember one time I ticked off Little Dog because I went in there and talked about how crappy Zello is, and he's like, well, why complain? Just stay off Zello, right? So I got big back into it. We got on Daniel Adami's channel, and you know, and it's kind of sparked it, but you know, there are times when you just got to put it down because it's gotten me in trouble, you know. And I think that there's a certain amount of honesty that comes out in Zello because you're just chatting among friends, but you're doing it over a long period of time. And I think that's what happened today. And I think that sometimes we egg each other on, and I think that sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's not. So, what did Provost say? You have a beautiful family, a couple of dollars in your pocket, and your health. You are successful. Thank you, Provost. I do feel successful. Guys, I've been an owner-operator for 5 years, and I may not be driving the nicest truck, and I may not be home as much as I would like to be, but I'm doing okay. And there's a lot to be said for that. Ratman told me, any day that you survive is a step forward. It's a step progressing forward. Because there's a lot of people that are not going to survive today. And that is ring so true. You know? And I've had people that run better than me, that are smarter than me, that have gone out of business. And sometimes I look at myself and like, why am I still here? How am I still doing this? Now, a big part of that is my wife. I do admit that she has a good job. She has our health insurance. And it's because of the situation that she has set up that I'm able to do this. That's number one, okay? And so I'm grateful for her and what she's allowed me to do. And there's a lot of times when I wish I could be a better person for her, that you know, and that's what I want to be. I want to be a better person, not only for myself, but for the people that do a lot for me. And in order for me to do that, I have to solve my own problems. I have to solve what my weaknesses are, you know? No, in lieu of a super chat, I can give you the next best thing of value, an opinion. Okay, Scott. Last word. They are the people who pass the time with those that are worth your time. Right. We all start as females, says Fanel. That's still one of the two. Jello makes me fat. Jello makes you jiggle, right? Robinson, what's up? Big Rick CEO, I give you credit all the time. What are you talking about? I hope you get some subs. Behind every good man is a great woman. That's exactly right. And I appreciate every single one. I appreciate the thumbs down. I'm grateful for the up and the thumbs down, okay? The thumbs down tells me that I'm getting I'm getting under their skin. So that means that I'm either making them think outside the box, or they at least hate me enough that, like, you know what, this dude is such an idiot that I'm going to take the time to click the thumbs down and know that I don't want to ever be like Steve Snorlord ever. So I'm going to give him the thumbs down. I am grateful for that, because then I still give you a lesson. I gave you the lesson of what not to be like. Therefore, I get the thumbs down. I am grateful for the thumbs up. I'm grateful for the super chats. I'm grateful that I have this platform called YouTube, and I'm thankful that I have the 3,000 subscribers to do this with. And I'm thankful that I try to get along with everybody on the different channels, even though they're at war with each other. And I am thankful for my family. I'm definitely thankful for my wife. And I'm thankful for Jeff for allowing me to take my truck and trailer and do what I want to do and do what I need to do without all these different restrictions that might happen at other carriers. And he doesn't nickel and dime us like some other carriers. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the people that I've surrounded myself with. And I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful that I woke up today. I'm thankful that my APU and my truck is running, knock on wood, you know, and I'm thankful that I didn't die in a tornado last night. And I'm thankful that the temperature's down about 20 degrees, which has been kind of nice. You know, think about all the things that you could be thankful for right now. Are you breathing? Be thankful for it. Are you clothed? Be thankful for that. You know, be thankful that you're not that chick on the corner that's begging for money with the cardboard sign, even though she's got a $300 purse. Be thankful that you're not the person begging for money on the corner, walking to the truck stop with brand new shoes, but yet they're pretending to be homeless. You know, be thankful that you're not that person. And if you are that person, be thankful that you're not dead from somebody that doesn't like that. You know, there's always a reason to find gratitude. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see how that works? Don't like your job? Be thankful that you have a job. Did you die? You know, that there's some truth to that. I agree, Charles. So there is some good aspects of Zello. Provost deleted the app. Being the sole breadwinner among some other things at home brings me a lot of stress because I let stress into it. So Donnie Luke, what can we do to reduce that stress? That's how I would look into that. And that's not, sometimes that's not an easy answer. And I've got a friend that's got a lot of stress because he's the sole breadwinner, and you know, and if his truck gives up, he doesn't know what he's going to do, and that, I can't imagine being in that situation. But I know that if I'm ever in that situation, what can I do to change that? You know, and sometimes that's not an easy answer. Just spent $21,000 on an overhaul. I questioned doing it, but I love what I do, and I can provide for my family better than anything else I could do, even with the rates being down. All right, Michael Dow. Thank you, Bandana. Feels like Thanksgiving Day dinner. Beard hot fleas. Is that code for something there, Big Rig? I'm thankful that you're thankful. There we go, Provost. And Donnie, I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope you find what you're trying to figure out. You know, and there are people out here that are making it as sole breadwinners. and that's tough. My wife and I talk about this all the time. Her father was ex-Teamster, roadway, and he was able to support the family as a single, owner, single truck driver, right? There was a time when truck driving was a single income family, There was a time when single incomes could support a family. And I think that the breakdown of our society is the breakdown of family, the breakdown of the family unit. Mother, father, grandparents all need to be in the children's lives. People say, well, it takes a village to raise a kid. Well, it takes a family to raise a kid, and we don't even have that anymore. And I've dealt with that myself. I've dealt with divorce. I've dealt with half siblings and step siblings. I've dealt with that. And it's a shame that there were situations in my past that I didn't have my act together that have created situations that aren't favorable. But family, losing the roots of family is what's devastating our country. And it's showing. It shows on the news. It shows in the public eye. It's like we blame guns, we blame the president, blame yourselves. We have only ourselves to blame on that. No matter what you do or where you go, there you are. Who said that, Provost? That's on the tip of my tongue. You're going to bug me with that now. I'm trying to figure out how to make a small portable insulated hard shell shelter that light and has power for the homeless in my town. Orion, that is beautiful. I won't say his name, but there's a person that is a successful owner operator. He's building his company, and his intent is so he can help the homeless. He wants to give back. He's the kind of person that if he became a millionaire overnight, a lot of people are going to be happy. He would take care of himself, but he would make sure that other people were taken care of, and that he would use that as a springboard to create a better situation for a lot of people. And this is also a person that's had a tragic story in his life. I could support us alone, but having my wife's income takes a little stress off. Right. It's nice to have those tools. I'm not saying that having a two-income family is bad. That's but it definitely makes it harder. I have a friend that he's the sole breadwinner, and if his wife was to get a job, that would create other stresses as far as child care and all these different things that they wouldn't have time for. So he works extra hard to make sure that his wife has the freedom to stay home and raise the kids. And in this day and age, you got to have a backup plan, and having your wife trucker table, as a support, that's awesome, because you never know when that truck's going to have a catastrophic breakdown. And if you're the sole breadwinner, that would be even more stressful. Pitbull Gator, there you go. You're absolutely right. Life is hard, short work through the bad times, and enjoy life, be nice, just smile. Right. And maybe that's why I'm not extraordinary with my numbers, because I try to find a perfect balance of home and money. I'm not the kind of guy that could be out here a month at a time. But I'm also not the guy that will just stay at home and let the wife do all the money making. I tried that and it didn't work. Yeah, I said that. I tried that and it didn't work. Because not only did it put extra stress on my wife, but it made me feel pretty low. I had no self-confidence in that time period. And when I became a truck driver, it made more of a man out of me. It made me... Here's the thing. Being a truck driver made me look at my life and what I took for granted. When you become a truck driver, then you look at all the things that you took for granted. You took for granted your home. You took for granted your bed. You took for granted your TV. You took for granted, everything that your spouse does for you. And truck driving really opened my eyes of how much of a shithead I was to her and to the kids and to myself. And so I started to change things. I started to really just look inside myself and what can I make myself better. And it's still a work in progress, and I still make a lot of mistakes. I really do. But at the same time, it's through those mistakes that I've learned. It's through those mistakes and gratitude that I learned that I can be a better person. And so if there are things that I'm discontent with, I'm going to change them. And it starts with myself. 4 to 6 months at a time? No way. Can't do that. I am a weak man for admitting that, right? When I came out of CDL school, I could have gone to Prime, but everybody I knew at Prime was out months at a time. Whether you were lease or company, it didn't matter. I went to Transland because I knew I'd be home every other weekend. And I think that's been the key to some of my happiness and some of my success. Because face it, guys, marriages fail a lot in the truck driving world. Truck driving puts a stress on your marriage, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your friends, your social life, I was pretty well known in my little heavy metal world, and that world is dwindling as we go. I haven't, the band hasn't practiced in like close to a year. Because I've been out here trying to improve this situation. Why? So I can have more freedom later. But unfortunately, the rates come down. I didn't run smart enough earlier when the rates were good. And the truck is starting to ask for money. That's what it does. That's what these trucks do. And because everybody else is hurting, they're asking for money. The tolls are higher. Truck payments are higher. This trailer, Provost and I were talking about this. My trailer was $30,000. The same exact trailer is $34,000 now. Same exact. Nothing new, nothing extraordinary. $4,000 increase. Why? Why is that? Because demand went up and profit. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Oh, wait, hold on. Thomas Wilson, he so needed prayers for a family of a 76-year-old driver that died this morning after emergency stop. The steel beams came and sidetracked and killed him. Well, let's give those prayers out, Thomas Wilson, to Thomas Wilson there. 46 years driving accident free, and that should my phone's about to die. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Be grateful for what you have now, because in an instant it could be done, gone, taken away. That's the reality of the situation that you're in. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my rant. And if I've pissed you off, maybe you needed to be pissed off. So thanks for watching. See ya.